Welcome to Talking Out with Marla P. I'm Marla, and I have a special guest with me on today. I have Niecy McCain. Niecy joined me today to tell her story in hopes of encouraging others that may be on a similar journey. Niecy, I want to first thank you. I feel honored that you chose my podcast to share your
Very
story.
welcome. I feel honored that you felt me and my story inspiring enough to come on here and share in hopes of helping somebody else. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Well, let me ask first, how are you?
I am better. I am in really good spirits.
Right. You look
Yeah,
good. You look healthy. You're in a good space.
I
I'm so
am.
glad to see it. I'm just so glad to see
Thank you,
it.
Marla.
I'm so glad to see it. Well, let me kind of brief you on how I know Niecy. Niecy is no stranger. We've been friends for about 10 plus years.
Yeah.
She's actually one of my natural hairstylists. When my mom relocated from South Carolina to North Carolina, I had no plan. I had no idea of how I was going to balance everything, work life, taking care of my mom. So I reached out to Niecy. I think at that point you was on the road to recovery.
Yeah, I was on the road to recovery and I didn't know like where I was in life because everything had been like literally taken away from me. So when you gave me the call about what you finna explain now, it gave me purpose because I felt like I was in charge of something again.
That's okay.
And
That's
it
okay.
was precious cargo, y'all, that I was in charge of. And during my early part of my recovery process. So if you
Mm-hmm.
wanna,
Absolutely. So I actually hired Niecy to take my mom to her appointments in the event that I wasn't able to. And Niecy took great care of her. My mom adored Niecy. And I just want to personally thank you for taking such great care of my mom.
you are very welcome, girl. It used to be so funny because I should have been in a wheelchair, but I'm pushing your mama in the wheelchair. So here we come, looking like a comedy act through the door. Oh, girl, through the parking lot. Oh my God, that wheelchair. Girl, I used to be so far back on that wheelchair. I know I'm not supposed to be doing too much.
But that's okay. That's okay. But I
Yeah.
just want to thank you for taking such great care of her because
Yes.
honestly, I didn't have a plan when she
Mm-hmm.
moved here. I just knew that I needed to take care of my mom.
Yeah.
And at that point, she was my assignment.
Well, my job was a blessing. That was my job, and it blessed me tremendously.
Well, I'm glad to
And
hear
she
that.
loved me, and I loved her. I
I
love that
know.
lady.
I know. Okay, so who is Niecy McCain?
Whew. I am meaning now. I am a Guillain-Barré survivor, and I am someone that knows what it feels like to be at the top and at the bottom. I am a mom. I am a daughter. I am a sister. Um, I have a nonprofit. I still do hair and I have a part time job. But I am somebody that God chose to for long suffering. So I gotta share my story with y'all. I have to.
Okay, so in short, your rare disorder
Hmm.
is when your body immune system attacks your nerves.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
It's called Guillain-Barré syndrome. GBS.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you do to feel empowered to fight this disease?
Well, I think I already had this, but I know that God gave me like a superhuman ability to say no. It was such a fighting spirit
Mm-hmm.
that it wasn't natural.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because they call insanity doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same result, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I knew that every time I got up that I was gonna fall, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I kept getting up and walking and falling anyway.
Right.
And if I had not done that, I would not have gotten better. And a lot of people don't recover from this disorder. Like they be quadriplegics.
Oh wow.
And mine was so severe. I just thank God every day that, um, first off, that it's something that I'll never forget and something that I can tell about. It's so embedded in me. If I could choose to do it all over again, would I elect to be somebody who God thought was so strong and be a no? I
Mm-hmm.
would not.
Okay.
You
So
gonna
to
have to edit
circle
that. You gonna have
back
to edit that.
to the date to when you first found out,
Okay.
what symptoms did you experience? Are you the first person in your family to be
Yes,
diagnosed?
it's
Okay.
not genetic.
Okay.
I got a flu shot from We Not Gonna Say, and within like maybe 4 weeks, like I started noticing that my body was tired, like I was feeling weak,
Mm-hmm.
and this was like in April or May, and then I just started declining. Um, just started declining. After that, I noticed that when I was driving the car, I couldn't press the uh, the pedals.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to pick my whole foot up, and you know what I mean. And then at my son's graduation, I couldn't walk um, into the Coliseum. Like they had to help me go in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day is I it was just terrible, girl. I was cold. I started falling. I started falling.
So at that point, did you decide to schedule an appointment to go to the
Yeah,
doctor, or?
yeah. Well, I was already in physical therapy for neuropathy.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there and they were looking like, what happened with you? And my legs had started snapping back. Like, instead of stopping here, they would, snap back. And they were like, no, you need to call your neurologist ASAP. I called him and he sent me right over, like, straight into the emergency room, and where they started IVIG, and it didn't work.
Okay. So how long was you hospitalized?
I was there for a week, and they gave me IVIG, which is made of it's a medicine that's given intravenously that's made from blood plasma. So everybody that go down there to get their checks every week and donate their blood plasma, thank you. It's helping people like me.
Okay. So at that point, um, with the medication, did it help?
It did not help. I had to do this one day at a time with uh, my team. I had a team,
Okay.
and yeah, the medicine didn't help. It didn't help.
So what were the doctors saying to you about your diagnosis? What were they suggestions or recommendations, or?
They told me that I would recover within 3 months.
And then they offered to suggest that you should go home or to like physical
And do
therapy, or?
physical therapy, and that I would be better in 3 months. But originally at the hospital, right at discharge, they were about to send me to a nursing home. Like it was, yeah.
So that was one of their recommendations?
Yeah, they were gonna send me to a nursing home, and immediately me and my daughter went into prayer. I felt so low, and this guy walked into the room. His name was CJ or JD or something like that, and he was like, and me and my daughter were looking at facilities, and one was in South Carolina, and it was the best one in the Carolinas. And he walked in the door, and he was like, "Well, we accept your insurance." Well, where? And it was the exact place. The exact place.
Wow.
So I had to go through it, but I knew at that moment I was, even though I would go through my daily doubts, that I was going to be okay. And I knew that God was going to make sure that I had the best, but I was going to have to go through it.
Right. That was your story,
Yes.
your journey. So did this illness have an impact on your family or marriage? If so, would you like to share it?
Um, it definitely was the whole. It was like the whole family, had it. You know what I mean? Like we all were. It was a team family effort. It was. I couldn't understand. But right before that happened, when my son kept getting big, like he just kept growing. Like he went from like a size 11 shoe to a 14, like within a year. And I ain't like, why is he so big like that? And it was because he was gonna have to literally carry me in and out of the house. I'm talking about pick the whole wheelchair up and go up a flight of stairs.
Wow.
To mama, yeah. So, um, God had his hand all in that. Supernaturally, I'm telling you, this kid was so huge, but that was why.
And there's nothing like support from your family, from your loved ones, because with any type of a rare, autoimmune disease, it can affect you in different ways.
Yeah,
And so just having that support from your family, that is so important.
it is.
Now, you were married at the time, or are you married, or?
Um, I am going through a separation right now. Yeah. I think that the whole ordeal took a toll on everybody, but especially on me and him, and you know, I think it caused an angry situation, especially during the it looks like she's getting better process.
Okay. Okay. So what did your friends or family members do or say that meant the most to you throughout this ordeal?
Okay, so I was with my mom at her house when this happened. I lived with her for I want to say maybe 6 or 7 months, and she was very encouraging, and she would say a lot. But the thing that I really remember is my mom would wash my hair
Oh.
and part it and grease it and attempt to maybe she was reliving something. But in a ponytail. But it was so sweet.
Right.
Like
It's the simple
I
things.
knew that she was going to care for me in a way that she had never, thought that she would. I never thought that she would, but it was just so loving and so hands on that it was amazing. I also had personal trainers that I went to every single day the first year. So hats off to Pam and Justice Canny. I remember sometimes I would go into therapy. I meant to training, and I went to training with them so they could keep my muscles strong because I couldn't move them to keep them from wasting. And I would have, pity. Like I remember in particular one day I was like, I can't do this, and why me? And Pam said, suck it up. Put your feet back on the pedals. I couldn't even put my feet on the pedals. They had to hold them on for me while I cycle. Put your feet back on the pedals and let's go. It's business time.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So that was something that I remember, and even to this day, like it's no time for doubt. It's no time for disbelief. It's no time to take a look at a situation for what it looks like to the naked eye. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't what it looked like. I made it.
That's right. That's right.
And she made sure that I was going to make it.
And sometimes you need those type of people in your ear.
Yeah.
To push you and encourage you, and because physical therapy is a huge part of recovery.
So I went to therapy and personal training. So Pam and Justice are my personal trainers that I went to every single day.
Right.
And my therapy team, big ups to y'all, and Huntersville physical therapy.
Okay.
I went there 3 times a week.
Okay.
So I was getting it.
That's right. You was determined.
Yeah, the team was definitely it. And just to go back just a little bit, the most humbling experience is having your children have to bathe you. and you ain't in no diaper, and you got all your teeth So you know it's not supposed to be going down like this. Not right now, but like,
Right,
ooh,
right,
girl,
right.
I love y'all. Y'all did an excellent job. They did.
I understand. So, like, with being diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disease,
Mm.
at times, how did you handle like any type of misconceptions or lack of knowledge of what the disease is? Like, sometimes people will see, well, like, she says she has this, but she looks normal. Um, or treat you a certain way because they don't really understand the disease. So, how did you handle that?
Well, I mean, honestly, it looked like I had a stroke, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. Um, as far as, I mean, I just had an issue with people looking at me and knowing that I had a disability. Like
Right.
that, like totally was like the most heartbreaking thing to me because I wanted to look what I considered as normal, and I didn't want anybody to look at me
Mm-hmm.
in a way that was pity or in a way that I felt less than
Right.
because they could look at me and see, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Right.
Like, something. She done been through something. Something is definitely wrong. I didn't like it. I did not like it. I did.
Okay. So, what are some things that you would have done differently throughout your healing process? Um, did this illness affect your mental health?
Definitely, definitely. I was on so much medication. Even now I have PTSD. Even the smallest thing, I'm at the hospital. They know me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm VIP at at the hospital. I have relaxed and let the healing just take place instead of running myself bananas mentally and trying to push it because it wasn't no pushing it. It was,
It's a slow recovery.
oh, you can go, you can keep the muscles together at training and therapy. But you gonna go at this pace right here until you heal. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't no speeding it up.
Mm-hmm.
It was I had to sit there and go through it, and it
That's
was the
right.
most. Ugh, class was in session
That's right.
because it really class was definitely in session.
I definitely get it. Just seeing my mom with her being diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disease,
Mm-hmm.
just seeing that what it done to her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you need patience.
Who
You
girl?
need prayer.
Yes.
You need someone that's compassionate, understanding.
Mm-hmm.
It takes all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I would tell anybody that may have a family member or loved one that has an autoimmune disease, get get a full understanding of what it is.
Yes.
Because you can't take care of someone if you don't know what the disease is.
Right, and be an advocate for
You
yourself.
have to. You really have to. Um, who has been the most influential person in your journey and why?
My mama.
Oh.
My mama. I love that lady. She was so patient with me, and she is the one who made sure that I was being kind to myself. You
Yes.
know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I wasn't. But she made sure that I was being kind to myself and
Just giving yourself
patient
grace.
with myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. Grace. She was my breakfast, lunch, my dinner, girl on the way from the shower. Girl, one day I'm in the floor, girl. My mama couldn't get me up out the floor. So, girl, here I am, army crawling down the hallway. And she cheering me on. Talking about, come on, you can do it. I did it. I did it. But
Yeah.
just remembering stuff like that, she's definitely my my everything.
That's
Doing
right.
that.
That's
Doing
right.
that. Yeah.
There's nobody like mama.
It's not. It's
Mm-hmm.
not. It's not. It's not. My dad didn't come visit me not one time.
Right.
I think he might came one time in the hospital, but
Mm-hmm.
other than that,
But I think as far as, when you experience something that traumatic, you can't really focus on
Who cares?
who weren't there. It's
Right.
just the ones who showed up. That's the
Right.
most important because you
Right.
just give that. I mean, you have to give that energy, because
Yeah.
otherwise, that's a whole nother issue
Right. And
and
really, I
stress.
shut down, like with my friends and stuff. I didn't want nobody to see me like that. I was embarrassed.
I can understand that. Yeah.
I was, I was very embarrassed. Yeah.
So, what's a valuable life lesson you've learned from such a challenging experience?
This gonna sound so bad, but live every day like it's your last.
No, that's real.
Live
That's yeah.
every day like it's your last. Cause when I tell you I am balls to the wall, because I don't know when I'm gonna have another recurrence. Cause it comes in flare ups.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's a whole autoimmune disorder at
That's
this
right.
point, and it's the chronic form now. It's called with me. It's called CIDP,
Mm-hmm.
and that is neuropathy that my body attacks my nerves whenever it thinks that it get whenever it get ready to.
So, did you join like a support group? If so, did that help
I
you or?
didn't look, girl. They had one on several on Facebook, and when I tell you, they were so depressing, and I couldn't. I had got caught up in that mess, and it just I wasn't doing well mentally. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
Mm-mm. Yeah, nah.
Just reading the comments and
Yes,
their different
interacting with them.
stories.
Yeah, because I knew that my story was gonna be different.
That's right.
And it was.
That's right.
It was.
That's right.
It's people, girl. I don't know. I think that the self defeating attitude is going to you're not going to properly heal. I didn't think so. I try to keep a positive attitude and know that I would come out of this somehow, some way, and that I wouldn't be one of those ones. And
Mm-hmm.
thank God that I wasn't.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes, like oftentimes, we tend to show up for others more
Mhm.
than we show up for ourselves.
Mhm.
Um, at any point, did you feel lonely or upset because the
Mhm.
people that you showed up for didn't show
Mhm.
up for you?
No, because previously before this, I was a non-shower upper.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it put things in perspective.
Right.
Little girl, you need to show up.
That's
And
right.
I didn't know how to deal with grief or sadness and things like that because when things like that happen, it was about control. It was something that I couldn't change. Like I couldn't change that, so I ain't going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to feel sad. Well, guess what? Niecy, it's not about you.
Mm-hmm.
Class was in session.
That's
Now
right.
I show up.
That's right. So it was a lesson learned for you.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
So when was the last time that you actually just encourage yourself? Like going through
Daily.
what you went through.
Daily. When I get up in the morning, it's a whole pep talk every morning, and now it's not even something that I'm really conscious that I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's I look fly, I look good. I know that sounds so ghetto and small, but yes, it's encouragement every single day. Yes, I can. Yes, I will. Yes, I am. Every single day.
That's
Every
right.
single day.
That's right.
Um, every single day it is that,
Mm.
and
So
putting myself first.
you have to.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put yourself first.
Why you gonna make me cry?
You just have to. It's
Why?
so
Why
important.
you finna make me cry?
I'm not gonna make you cry. I'm not. But I have a mirror,
Okay.
and I want
Jesus.
you to hold this mirror, and I want you to encourage the person that you see looking back at
Ooh.
you.
Girl, you are so much more than what you think you are. You are so powerful. You got this. People are watching you. People are watching you. You need to make sure that you finish your race. And you better run it. You better run it like nobody's business. Don't be distracted. You need to focus. And it's okay to put yourself first. And it's okay if people don't like you. It's okay if people don't understand why you making the choices that you making, and you can't be mad at them for that because they ain't walked in your shoes. They might have watched it, but they don't know what it feel like. They don't. So every day when you strap on your boots, you better get up and you better run like you know exactly who you are, because you do. You know exactly who you are.
So good. How do you feel?
I feel full. I feel how do I feel in this moment?
Mm-hmm.
I feel full. I'm glad that I got to share. I feel I feel relieved
Mm-hmm.
that I
Mm-hmm.
finally got to share, you
Yeah.
know? And I
Yeah.
know we only like hit on like certain, but you got to bring me back, girl, cuz this is some deep stuff. I'm trying to
We'll have to
this
talk
is some
about if
deep
there's gonna
stuff.
be a part two. I know it's a lot to your
Oh, it's a
story.
lot.
So
It's a
we'll
lot.
definitely kind of talk, about a part two.
Okay.
So what are three things that you would tell a person that was just diagnosed with your illness? What are three things you would tell them to encourage them?
Make sure that you check your inner dialogue. Make sure that when thoughts come in, self-defeating thoughts come in, that you counteract them with positivity, or you're not gonna make it. You need to make sure that you're active and have a program, perhaps maybe a team together, so that your body won't waste,
Hmm.
and know that you can recover.
That's good.
And it's more than just a possibility, you
That's
know?
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Nisi, I just want to thank you for your transparency. Um, and I know it's hard reliving those moments. It brings on so many emotions.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so happy that you chose my podcast to share your story. And we will definitely talk offline about possibly doing a part two to your story.
Okay.
But from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank you.
You are very welcome.
Thank you for sharing your story.
You are very, 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 very welcome. Very welcome.
Awesome. There you have it, guys. If you're interested in sharing your story, you can reach out to me on Facebook at Talk It Out with Marla P, Instagram Talk It Out with Marla P, or you can send me an email at talkitoutwithmarlap@gmail.com.
I am Flair the Phoenix on all platforms. Um, if you need encouragement or a hairdo, or if you want to donate baby items to my charity, it's called Baby Shower Charlotte. You can do that on my on any of the so you can reach me at any of the social media platforms. I'm Flair, Flair the Phoenix.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and also share the video. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.